Hello, my name is Jennifer, and welcome to my Sims 4 video about the recent Realm of Magic trailer and an overview of what we know about the game pack. We actually got a lot of information about the game pack after the trailer was released, so I'm going to touch on that first, and then I'm going to take a look at the trailer and look at it in light of what we know about the pack information that came out afterwards. Now, to start with, it's coming to Origin PC on September 10th. That means PC and Mac is getting it September 10th. And console doesn't have long to wait for it. It's coming October 15th, so that's pretty good and in line with what the most recent packs have been. Now, because it's coming on September 10th to the computer version of the game, I expect that the game update to prepare our computers for it to play is going to be on September 5th, which is in line with the fact that we have been told that there is going to be a live stream on September 6th. And they've mentioned the words deep dive a few times in some of the tweets and stuff that I've seen. Not specifically here, but we will get to take a look at it then. And that is in line with the fact that the update would be out the day before, so that anything that we possibly get in the update will be showing there, and we will already have it in our game before we see it in the live stream. I expect the live stream will be at 11 a.m. Pacific, as it normally is, but we'll know more closer to the time when they actually announce the details of the live stream. Now, per the EA site, there are 4 key features, and we're going to take them one by one, and with each one, I'm going to go over some of the tweets that pertain to the various features, and then at the end we'll have just a few that don't really fit in with any of these categories. Most of the tweets I got came from Sims community. There's a whole page with a bunch of Q&A tweets, and there was also some individual pages, and I'll link down below, and some I just got from scrolling through the SimGuru's tweets and their responses on, essentially the notification of the pack. Now, for Discover the Neighborhood, an unreal world awaits your sim, and when you stumble upon the secret portal, there are mystical discoveries at every turn. Interact with familiars, cast spells on sims around you, and concoct potions for friends and enemies. Now, the familiars itself is going to be a little bit more detail in one of the other features, but here's some information about the worlds. We have confirmation of the name of the worlds. There's 2 new worlds. World 1 is Glimmerbrook, where you'll be able to live and move your Sims in. And World 2 is the Magic Realm. You're not able to officially move into this world, but there's nothing to stop you from putting a bed on the lot. So essentially, the Magic Realm, which is World 2, has 1 big lot, which can be edited with the BB Enable Free Build sheet, but Glimmerbrook itself has 5 lots and functions just like any other normal world. In Glimmerbrook, there is 1 empty lot and 1 starter home, and there is a venue. There are also 2 lots that have homes on them with Sims in them, and the comment is supposed to be a hidden world only known by spellcasters, but you will be able to see it from the map view. World 1, that is, not World 2. But there are a couple of households living there, and one is a couple of spellcasters, and the other is a family of spellcasters. So total 6 Sims, it seems like, in the world. So, and with respect to how seasons impacts on it, the new world will support all seasons. So you will get like your regular spring, summer, fall, and winter there. And it looks sort of foresty, so that makes sense. That's similar to how Granite Falls is. They also asked whether seasons are supported in the World 2, i.e. the Magic Realm, and it's surrounded by a swirling vortex of magic. Seasons are unable to penetrate the void, so we're not going to get weather there, but they have a custom day-night cycle for the world, which is said to be really cool, so that'll be interesting to see. Now, with respect to the Realms lot needing a cheat to edit it, is because they added some special nodes and code to make the 3 sages that are in the house stay in their respective areas of the house. However, if you rebuild the entire lot, the worst thing that will happen is the sages will just walk around like normal Sims. Nothing too bad. So you can edit it. It just won't function exactly the same way, but it's not the end of the world. And with respect to using magic, you can use the magic outside of the 2 worlds that come with the pack, but the comment is, be careful though, people may not react kindly to the magical arts. So that's sort of an interesting thing. The other thing is that portal in the teaser yesterday is how you get into the world, and you do not need to be magical to go into the world to use the portal, but you have to go to Glimmerbrook to get to the portal to get into the world. But if you're a spellcaster, there are alternate ways to get to it that doesn't require you to go there and go into that portal. So the second key feature is to learn the craft. So this is study up on classic teachings, get sorceress experts to train your sim, and become a spellcaster by completing a quest. Collect and cast spells to make sims fight, conjure food, or even turn others into objects. Create drinkable potions to make sims fall in love, remove unwanted curses, or live forever. So that's just the basic from the EA page. And someone asked, are there any darker spells and curses? And what the response is there's 4 styles of magic: practical, mischief, and untamed, which is represented by the 3 sages. There's also a 4th style, alchemy, which is the art of potion crafting. And you can mix and match styles if you like, or go down a single style. The choice is yours. So obviously we'll learn a little bit more about that later. So some people are upset that there's only witches and warlocks, which is actually they're called spellcasters. And what SimGuruRomeo replied is that in order to deliver the best experience possible for spellcaster, we wanted to double down and focus. This version of spellcasters will have more spells and potions than any other Sims game. In total, there are 24 spells, 15 potions, and several curses. Honestly, this was what I was expecting, given that vampires only had vampires. I was kind of only expecting one particular one. So, and since witches and warlocks or wizards, whichever you say it, is my favorite, I'm not disappointed. I can see why people are, but hopefully there'll be something later for those who wanted other things. So spellcaster progression will be similar vampires plus some. Not only will they have perks and curses versus the weaknesses that vampires had, they'll have an entire spell book where they will log the spells and potions they have learned. So obviously there is potions in this, which they've already said. So someone asked if only spellcasters can make potions, like witches were in Sims 2. And that is the case. Only spellcasters can make potions in the cauldron. However, the cauldron can be used to cook other things like food. And then someone else also asked if the potions can be made on a stovetop, or do you have to have the cauldron? And the answer is yes. You need to have a cauldron. You cannot make them on the stove. There was also somewhere that I saw that the cauldron does function off the grid, so you don't need to have it on the grid. Someone did reply saying that they wish they could make them on the stovetop, potions that is, but i.e. if they're a witch living in a small flat in San Myshuno, to have to use a huge cauldron. So what SimGuruRomeo replied to that was a possible solution for your tiny living spellcaster. Use the Glimmerstone, which is one of the ways you can travel to the magic realm from anywhere. Use those cauldrons to craft potions. Each batch of potion yields 4 bottles, so that's interesting. And learn the copy pasto spell, or copy pasto spell, and copy your potions instead of brewing them again. So that would make it easy to have a bunch of potions on hand if you learn that spell. There was a question about whether there were new plants. 2 new plants to tie in with potion brewing: valerian root and mandrake root. Like the weaknesses that vampires have, spellcasters can have up to 3 curses, and some of them are pretty nasty. You'll get them by failing feats of magic versus choosing, it seems like. Don't worry, there are a few ways you can dispel curses. So hopefully the ways that you can dispel curses actually work and are effective, because I know currently with vampires, if you take the reconfiguration draft to remove your weaknesses and change your powers, the weaknesses itself don't get properly removed, and you still can have the effects. Same as if you cure a vampire, they can still have the effects afterwards, even when they're not a vampire, which is a glitch and is on EA Answer Headquarters. So hopefully this actually properly gets dispelled in the manner that you're supposed to be able to do so. So now we're going to move on to the third feature, Get Real Familiar. An ethereal familiar or protector will help your sim become the spellcaster they were destined to be. Summon a dragon, fairy, or the familiar that best suits your sim's personality as a personal guard and give it a creative name. So someone asked if the familiars with Realm of Magic will function as pets or similarly, and if they are, is cats and dogs my first pet a requirement for them? My first pet is not a requirement because they aren't one that's part of it. But if you own cats and dogs, you will be able to designate your pet as a familiar. You will be able to send them out to forage magical ingredients. They also will have cool sparkles around them. So that's kind of fun and interesting. And you can have as many familiars as you want bound to your sim. However, you can only have one summoned at a time. Someone asked whether there's any reason to collect more than one familiar, and like, is there anything other than they look different? But essentially they function in the same way. It doesn't matter which one you have, they function the same way. And the same with just items with respect to like the wands and brooms and whatnot. The normal looking stuff is going to be the same as the crazy looking stuff. So that applies for the familiars, wands, and brooms. There was a crystal ball, and they're asking whether you can interact with it. The crystal ball looking thing you see in the trailer are actually the familiars. Think of them as little Pokeballs, except way more comfortable and luxurious for your familiars. So that's where your familiar, other than of course your pets, I can't imagine they're in there, but the familiars that come with the pack will be in the crystal balls. Someone noticed that one of the familiars is a void critter. Is there a reason for this lore-wise? Did a witch invent the Void Critters franchise, which is quite funny. There are a few Void Critters that are based off of myth and legends. Boobaloo is a real-life creature that can be tamed by children in the hamster cage, i.e. that you need My First Pet stuff for that. And the Veiled possesses the powers of the cosmic void and might have origins in the magic realm. So that is one of the familiars. The profile pick for a few of the SimGurus are actually familiars, and essentially you can name them whatever you want. They don't have any official name. And here are the pictures of all of the familiars, which I got from Sims Community. So you can see them all there. My favorite is the top right-hand corner that looks kind of like an owl. And that is also the one that they show on the pack art. So that one's my favorite for sure. The one that looks like an owl. But, you know, some of them are cute, some of them not so much. But then again, magic isn't always cute. So there's something for everyone. So moving on to the fourth and final key feature, dress for supernatural success. Get in the spirit of sorcery with outfits that suit your sim. Over-the-top attire is cauldron ready, while a subdued ensemble is perfect for casting new spells. Collect wands and brooms to finish the look, then decorate rooms with enchanting objects. So this essentially kind of covers Create a Sim and also build by this particular area, because obviously dressing your sims and dressing your rooms and homes also. To start with, I thought I would add, the first question was, can we create witches and wizards and Create a Sim? And the response was, you can create spellcasters straight from Create a Sim, or ask one of the 3 sages to perform the rite of ascension on your sim. Only spellcasters can learn magic, as was probably somewhat clear earlier, since only spellcasters can make potions. There was a question whether it's a life state or a skill. It is definitely a life state. You have to be a spellcaster to do that. And there was also a question whether there was a human form and a witch form. And the answer is that this is the first occult without a second form. I did see someone say, oh, well, ghosts are an occult and they don't have a second form, but they're not like a fully fleshed occult like aliens and vampires and mermaids. So if you're talking about those, they are the first fully fleshed occult that doesn't have a second form. So I'm thinking that was what he meant there. So as I commented earlier, you do not need to be a spellcaster to go to the magic realm. Anyone can go through that portal in the world to get there. And obviously once you're there, you can ask one of the 3 sages to essentially turn you into a spellcaster. And there was a question about whether spellcasters were immortal, and they age like normal Sims. However, there is a portion of immortality you can craft. So that seems as though you can do that, and then your spellcaster Sims can live forever, the same as vampires do. And there are brooms, and so someone asked whether normal Sims can ride brooms, and only spellcasters. Anyone can have a broom on their wall, though, so you can have them. Anyone can buy them and make them decorative, but only spellcasters can actually fly them. They can fly them outside of the realm, and if it's in their personal inventory, they can click on it and make that their preferred method of travel, and they can then fly anywhere, which is similar to how it was in Sims 3. So that's kind of interesting. So I guess we'll learn a bit more about that. And then someone said, what can they do with the brooms? Which the answer was fly. And so they said, can we fly from one island to another? And the response was, the best way to travel in Sulani is actually by broom. Who would have thought? Which I can see particularly in the world with the neighborhood with the volcano. MapleSimmer, which is the conservationist world. I have my Sims often live on the little island, and they always have to swim across to get to the other side where the waterfall is and the cave is and all the other stuff that's over there. So if they were a spellcaster and had a broom, they could fly across instead of having to swim across. And then when they swim across, sometimes they get, cramps and various things depending on what their fitness skill is. So I could see that being particularly good in that neighborhood. So this next one, that what I noticed here was that while we can see there are new hairstyles, you can see them in the trailer, there are no new facial hair, there are no new hats, and there's no capes or cloaks, but there's a lot of accessories to show off your spellcaster, though, and I'm not sure if they're saying accessories. I think they actually do mean, because I noticed that the sim in the trailer, which we'll see afterwards, has rings and various things, so they could mean that. They also could just mean build by accessories like the broom. And with respect to aspirations or traits for the new pack, there are 2 new aspirations, one for the alchemy potion path and one for the spellcasting and energy path. And the trait is that there's a new trait called the magical bloodline, which is if you're born a spellcaster. I expect it's like an extra trait, like the Father Winter trait. This is just me speculating, I don't know, but if they have it, it'll allow their sim to become a spellcaster later in life. But that said, the actual ability to do spellcasting does not start until they become teens. So here, this is the tweet that confirmed that it's teens and olders can cast spells, but there is something a little bit for kids to discover as well, and we'll have to find that out because obviously we don't really see what that is right now, but there's something special, and I'm assuming they mean spellcaster kids have something special, but who knows what that means exactly. So here's a new screenshot, which is the cover photo from SimGuruNinja on his Twitter, and you can see some new things here, some new stained glass windows, a new fireplace, new wall coverings, what looks like a new counter, looks like an island counter, so it looks like we're actually probably going to get that with the pack and not after the fact. But what's most important here, or most interesting here with this, is that you can also see the little circle around the plumb bob that shows the what indicates that this sim is a spellcaster. So you can see a little bit what that looks like. And if you'd like to see a close-up, you can either go to SimGuruNinja's Twitter, or this actually came from Sims Community, which has a nice clear picture of it. That's probably the better place to go, and I will link everything down below as usual. So go into the description and you'll be able to see all the source of all of this information. Now, someone said they needed the music from the trailer, and SimGuruRomeo linked it to the YouTube video where the music came from. So that, of course, will be linked down below here if you'd like to see the original music from the trailer. And another popular question is, can there be vampire and witches hybrids? And there are no cross occults. If they happen, it's a bug. I know there are cross occults. I know they can happen in the game, but they are glitchy and they are not meant to happen. So the same is true with the spellcasters. Now, someone was wondering, can you create good or bad witches, and will spells affect the reputation system in Get Famous? And the response is spells do affect reputation. However, there is no notion of bad or good spellcasters. You can choose which of the 4 styles you prefer, which is practical, mischief, untamed, or alchemy. Now, the most interesting one I found was this particular one, which is just a little fun. Will there be any new stairs in the pack, spiral, etc.? I think it would be fitting. It is fine if the answer is no, though. And the response was, that is a peculiar question. Why would you ask something like this? Which, of course, wasn't a no. So now the big question is, are we getting new stairs with this pack? Which would also, explain why they couldn't do the live stream until after the update, because some new things would be coming with that update, which perhaps it's stairs. Who knows what it'll be, but it does seem like we're getting something new with the update as a result. So here we are with the trailer. So this first part here is obviously the world of Glimmerbrook, and there is the portal that was in the teaser and the portal that you can go, any sim can go through to get to the realm of magic, or the magic realm. So here it is, the large world. Obviously the whole thing isn't editable. There is a lot here, and then there's obviously a neighborhood around the lot. This house here is the lot that you can edit with the bb.enable free build cheat. And I'm guessing that these sims are the various sims that are on the lot that you can ask to have you become a spellcaster. So here he obviously was just a regular sim, and now he's becoming a spellcaster. That was one of the familiars, and we're having a duel going on, and it looks like she disappeared, and there's the book. He's doing pretty well for someone new, it seems, to me. And I think maybe there he's become a full spellcaster, and there now he can go on that broom. As you can see with the trailer, it shows it's coming out on September 10th, which is for PC Mac. It is also coming out on console on October 15th. Hopefully we'll get lots more information between now and then. If not, we'll have to wait till September 6th for the live stream. Let me know what excites you most about this pack. I don't know. It's just a lot. And I am looking forward to having some of my existing sims become spellcasters and creating someone as a spellcaster right off the bat. And I'm really interested to play generationally with it. That would be really fun. So hopefully we'll get more information about the new sims that come with the pack soon enough. That is going to be it for the information I was able to find out today. As I said, everything will be linked down below. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye! This has been Jennifer. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. If you liked the video, please leave a like. And if you'd like to see more videos of challenge, let's plays, tutorials, and occasional speed builds, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thanks very much!